here are the new cards. And first up, we got Thunderfist. Just Bandle City. I feel like every time I see Bandle City, it has to be dual region now. Just Bandle City. Impact 2/3, 3 cost. When I'm summoned, if you've summoned a Thunderfist this game, transfer me into Masa Crashing, or Mesa, probably Mesa, Masa, I don't know. Crashing Thunder. This is, I think, why people think Kennen's going to come out, not to mention this other rat-looking thing on the side. When I actually first saw this, I did not see Impact. I'm actually going to pull up another list of cards, too. I didn't see Impact, which actually makes this substantially better. So, but, like, we literally just got, and it was nerfed. Hold on. Like, I feel like, I don't know if this is going to happen again or not. So, let's see. We have Shadow Isles. What was it, like a 4 cost? The hell was that card? The Tenor of Terror, okay? Tenor of Terror is... Or here, I'll pull it up right here. Tenor of Terror. When I'm summoned, if you've played or created a card or killed a unit. So this has like a activation requirement. This activation requirement is... you have to have already have summoned a Thunderfist. This activation requirement is you can actually get it to work before you play it. So no matter what with Thunderfist, you're always not going to get the effect the first time it gets played, which kind of feels bad, I guess. So it's always going to be a 3-mana 2/3, which is like ass, right? Like 2-mana 2/3s are insane, and they're in the game. So that's something you have to take into consideration. Now, you get this for the second one you play. So essentially you're getting, what, 6 mana for 7/7. So we've had 4 mana 7/7. This is 6 mana. If you know, you know. Please never. Please never. So, but it's a 6 mana 7/7 with impact. Technically times 2 if you count the fact that it's 2 units. And this is a pretty big tempo gain, I guess, if you play it later on. But the problem is you're never going to get this down early. This is what? A 4 mana 4/4 with double impact. So 6 mana 7/7 with double impact, a 4 mana 4/4 with double impact. This was nerfed. So think about it. This has equal stats to its cost now. It's a 4/4 for 4 between both the units with impact times 2. That's like how much a unit should cost. This, I don't know. I mean, I think because they're so disconnected, like the second one you have to draw after the fact, and the first one is like a tempo loss, and the second one's a tempo gain. I think this won't get touched or won't get nerfed, but I also don't know how good this is. Because, like, how often are you actually going to get this after? And it's only Yordle, too, or not Yordle, Bandle City. So, like, all right, Bandle Tree is not really in the question, right? Yeah, when I'm summoned, if you summon a Thunderfist... Wait, you said if it doesn't summon it, it transforms. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a second. Oh, no. See, that's the thing. So when I first read this card, this is an important note. When I first read this, if you summon it and then summon another Thunderfist, the first one doesn't change. At least the way this is worded, I'm pretty sure the first one doesn't change. Because this says when I'm summoned, if you've summoned. So if it's already on the field and then you summon it, it doesn't transform. So the first one's always going to be a Thunderfist. The second one's always going to be a Mimosa. God, I could use a Mimosa right now. Crashing Thunder, right? So that's the problem. That's why it's 6 mana 7/7 in stats, right? Because when I first read this, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like a 10/8. I thought it was gonna get both transformed. If both transformed, it might be a little busted. Actually, if both transformed, it might be playable. But I think because they're so detached and you're not guaranteed to draw both, and it's only one region for Bandle City, I don't think this is really gonna see play. So I rated the other cards. I'm gonna give this one like a 3 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna get like a 3 out of 10. What do you guys think? A 5-point scale or a 10-point scale? Let me know. I used to do 5. I don't know, man. It doesn't really matter. It's just like half integers, whatever. All right, anyways. Next up, we got Quicken. So again, only Bandle City. All of these are only Bandle City, right? Yep. Only Bandle City. Quicken. Fast. Recall a unit with Realist Power. So literally the first thought that popped into my head was that this does not protect Yasuo. Damn it. Like, that's... Rip Yasuo, man. Never any support. But this, I think this is also why a lot of people on Twitter I've seen are already saying they think Kennen's going to be a 3/3 with quick attack. Because every 3-cost champion's a freaking 3/3. That's how it works, man. And And it makes sense that Kennen would have quick attack, but I hope they are more creative than that. I really do. Because that just seems like the obvious go-to. I really hope that's not the case. So anyways, this is probably going to protect Kennen, which is good. I'm trying to think of what sort of... Like, if you think... What's the Ionia card I'm thinking of that's recall and stuff, right? It's the 2-drop. I don't know what the hell the name is because nobody plays this archetype, like, ever. You have... Okay, Fey Blade Twirler. In my eyes, especially because Fey Blade Twirler might as well be Kennen, I think the Kennen archetype is going to support this type of stuff. Because you can see here, too, there's another one we're going to go over. It keeps buffs, which is interesting. Which, actually, hold on. All right, we'll do that card next. Now I'm getting... So, Culling is better on average. Culling Strike, I mean, Culling Strike kills the unit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm willing to say Culling's better than this. The problem is, like, there's never really been a good recall archetype. As shout out to Pat would tell you, it's just like Monastery of Hirana, right? Like that would be like the ultimate dream with these recall cards, and it's never really come to fruition. Or like you're getting an effect from the unit you're recalling, right? So you use it on something like Shadow Assassin. Is that even... Wait, it's Ionia, right? What's Shadow Assassin again? Please be Ionia. Okay, good. I still know what I'm talking about in this game. That's great. So you could recall it, you know, you draw one. I think there's some other stuff that has like when recalled do this type thing. But again, this is just an archetype that's not really supported. So as a standalone in a vacuum. Oh yeah, what's that Ari follower? I forgot. In a vacuum, this is great. Actually, yeah, hold on. Let me search something real quick. I think, what was she? It was like this one. Tail Cloak Matriarch. Each round, the first time you recall a follower, summon an exact ephemeral copy of it. So, great. Perfect example. You combo it with Tail Cloak Matriarch, and now you're like Shadow Assassin. Let's say you use this on a Shadow Assassin. You have Tail Cloak Matriarch on the field. Now you're going to draw a card and get a Shadow Assassin on the field that's replacing itself. And because it's summoned, because Shadow Assassin is a one summon effect, you draw another card. So you're spending 2 mana to draw 2 cards and push damage. Seems good. But, like, there's a lot of 3-card combos that seem good, right? Like, that's still kind of hard to actually fully realize the entirety of this combo. Until we see Ari. Maybe Ari supports this, right? If Ari is going to be another one of the champions. So in a vacuum, or even not in a vacuum, with cards like this, I think it would be great. But I don't think the archetype support is really going to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and give this 5 out of 10. Straight up in the middle. It could end up being good, though. I don't know. This reminds me of that stun that Yasuo has, right? The God, all these Yasuo cards, I literally don't even remember their name because nobody ever plays them. Steel Tempest. That's the one. Okay. All right, Tornado Warrior. So this is what I was talking about before when it's like the whole recall thing. This is continuing on that archetype. So Bandle City and Ionia is going to be an archetype, right? There's going to be a recall archetype. Tornado Warrior reminds me a lot of, again, Fey Blade Twirler, okay? This concept of unit buffing or attack buffing due to recalling or stunning, right? When I'm summoning, grant me +1/+0 and a random keyword. So this is always going to be a 2-mana 3/2 with some sort of keyword, which off the cuff is pretty good. Like, that's good stats. It's going to trade up with 3/3s and stuff like that, and possibly even do more depending on the keyword. If it's tough, that's great. Quick attack's good. Generally, any keyword should be decent. So yeah. And obviously, negative keywords, I imagine, as per usual, do not get included in that mix. I keep these stat buffs and keywords when I'm recalled. So every single time Tornado Warrior gets recalled, it's going to go +1 attack, and it's going to get another keyword. That's like, Jesus, what's that big-ass thing from Bandle City, too? It'd be nice if I remembered card names sometimes. It was 6, right? I've been pretty good about remembering costs, but that's about it. No, here we go. The Arsenal, it's 8. So it's kind of similar to this, where, like, this is a finisher for 8 mana. This is a finisher long-term. So, like, maybe if you protect it all game, you know, you end up with this big-ass Tornado Warrior. But, again, that seems terrible to me. I don't know how great this will be. So, again, and then Monastery of Hirana, right? I mentioned that earlier. So you do Monastery of Hirana, For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Round start, create a Sanctuary in hand. Recall an ally. Can't be cast in combat or in response to a spell. So this is basically, you're spending 1 mana burst speed to add an attack and give a keyword, which is pretty freaking good. So this is 100% a Monastery of Hirana archetype thing. So I do think Bandle City, Ionia, Monastery of Hirana, that's going to be a thing. I also think Pat's going to try to build that deck and bring it to an OLS. You know? So, but I don't think it's going to be great, unfortunately. I give this a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I think it has more potential than Quicken overall to be successful for that archetype that I just mentioned. And then we have, last but not least, Gus Monk. Bandle City again. When I'm summoning, create a Cloud Stance in hand. 2 mana, 2/2. It's also a Yordle. Oh, they were all Yordles, by the way. By the way. Keep that in mind. Which I guess is a positive attribute. Assuming there's more cards with Yordle stuff. You know the other thing to take into consideration, by the way? Tristana, right? I have +1, +0. No, see, it's all multi-region. No, it's all multi. So none of these. So these were like specifically. I feel like these were specifically made as a single region with it in mind to not work with Tristana. So I don't know. That's just a thought. But so 2 mana, 2/2 Yordle Cloud Stance. So it gives you a card. Give an ally +2, +0, and round end recall me this round. So again, you use this with Tornado Warrior. Now it's gonna get Jesus. Wait a second. Okay, I'm pretty sure Tornado Warrior, like if you play Cloud Stance on it, it's not going to keep the Cloud Stance buff. It says I keep these stat buffs and keywords when I'm recalled. I think these is referring to only the +1, +0 in the keyword. It's not going to keep any additional. That would be busted. If this can keep additional stat buffs, that's stupid. And then this card gets a 10 out of 10. But I don't think that's the case. I think it just keeps the +1, +0, and keyword. This triggers the other effect, but again, like that's so much. There's just so many things that need to happen for this to even like be good. There's so many cards. Look at that. There's 3 cards right there. Like that just feels like way too much to have to set up just to get like a minimal payoff. Like because the other thing too, you're paying 2 more mana to replay it. So basically, you're paying the mana to recall it. Let's say it's Monastery of Hirana. That's 1 mana. Then you're paying 2 mana to replay it. So you're basically playing 3 mana every time just to give it +1, +0, and a keyword. Actually, when it comes down to it. So it's not just 1 mana. Because I said Monastery of Hirana would be 1 mana to give +1, +0, and a keyword, which is good. But considering you have to replay it to get it on the field, it's not. It's 3 mana. You know what? I take this back. This gets like a 3 out of 10. I don't like this anymore. If it costs 0... or even 1, maybe it'd be more playable, but I don't think... I think having to repay this cost every time is bad. I think this is terrible. Fuck, that sucks, man. Alright, well, on to Gus Monk. In a vacuum, I do like this card. So again, especially if we're going, like... Tornado Warrior, I don't necessarily think would be in... I don't even know this card's name, which is why I keep searching for it. I just looked it up. No, I don't want that. This thing. Tailcloak Matriarch. So I foresee this could be in a Tailcloak Matriarch deck, and Gus Monk could be in a Tailcloak Matriarch deck, right? Or something that revolves around this, or Monastery of Hirana, right? I don't foresee Tornado Warrior being in that deck. This just seems terrible now. But this gives you card advantage, so it gives you something that you could potentially use to discard for stuff, although Bandle City and Ionia wouldn't really have much use for that. And then +2, +0 and round and recall me. Especially, like, imagine a elusive deck. I wonder if elusive Bandle City would be good. Because, like, even just blatantly using this on a Shadow Assassin just to push 5... Or, Jesus. Remember when Shadow Assassin was 3? Shadow Assassin's been touched so many times. This would be 4 damage with a Shadow Assassin, and you get to replay it to draw a card. And, like, paying that mana to replay Shadow Assassin makes a lot more sense than replaying Tornado Warrior for 2 mana, because at least you get the draw card. You keep up the card advantage. This is just like shit. If you don't get tough as a keyword, this just gets pegged with Mystic Shot. Like, it's such a waste of... I hate this card. The more I think about this card, the more I hate this card. So Gus Monk. Gus Monk. I mean, again, I'm gonna give this one. I'll give it. What did I say for Quicken? Shit, somebody go back in the video. What did I say? I said like a 4 for this and a 5 for this, maybe. Yeah. And then I said a 6, but then I changed that to a 3. So I'm gonna give this a 5 too. Gus Monk. I mean, these cards they're underwhelming. Like unless Ari is like this ridiculous recall thing that works with like that matriarch and stuff, I don't foresee this archetype quite panning out yet. So that's what everybody always says, right? Like it's hard to rate these cards until you see all of them. It is what it is, you know. Dinah, what up, by the way? What up, Dinah? Dinah, I miss your Nightfall decks in OLS. I'm just saying. But, yep, that's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. By the way, if anybody wants to check, speaking of OLS, all the OLS videos from the Mobalytics OLS from last 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, they're all starting to go up on YouTube now. So the finals should be up by this weekend. But the top cut of the seasonal is this weekend. I did the open rounds of Boulevard. I will be helping with some Produccione stuff on the side, so pretty excited for that, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is so far I gotta say overall these cards are quite underwhelming.